We're here with Phelps, the Grammy-nominated artist, and my friend Josh the Rock Brock, who does some streaming, and he'll probably actually be streaming a lot of Star Citizen when the full game finally goes live. So say hi, Phelps and Josh.
Hello.
That was all wrong. Do
all right, let's try it again.
All right, let me go back. Hi, say hi, Phelps and Josh. Now harmonize.
Oh, hi.
Let's do a three-part harmony.
Hi.
Three-part harmony. Ready?
Yes.
Yes. All right, fuck it. It's not working. Let's move on. So I guess first of all, what is Star Citizen? Star Citizen is a new space sim being developed by Chris Roberts, who is considered by many to be like the godfather of the space sim. He's popular for the Wing Commander series, and he worked on also Freelancer. He did about 90% of the development before he left because of some conflict with the direction that Microsoft was taking it. Now he's making Star Citizen, and a lot of people are really excited about it. It's actually the largest crowd-funded game of all time as far as its budget so far. They've made 36 million now, guys? 36 million?
Something ridiculous.
Yeah, 36. I think it's close to 37 million now. So if any of you guys have played Wing Commander or Freelancer or Privateer or anything like that, or if you like space sim games, then you're probably going to like this game. In fact, even if you've never played any of that and you try this game, odds are you're probably going to like this game. If they get it right. That's a big if. I should point that out because
we don't want to get Molyneux.
We don't want to get Molyneux. That's right. As Josh and I were talking about here, we have been let down before with empty promises from developers, and we like Chris Roberts, and he's got a great track record, and so we believe if anyone can pull it off, it's him. But we also have been let down in the past before. Peter Molyneux, thanks Peter. So we always say we don't want to get our hopes up too high and get Molyneux. So
we're talking to you, EA. Talking to you.
We're talking to you, Peter Molyneux. We've been Molyneux. We don't want to get this game in our hands and go, we've been Molyneux.
Yeah.
So,
what sorts of crazy adventures are regular Joe Schmoes like me and you going to be able to get to on this game? What are we going to do when this game comes out?
Well, Josh, I'm glad you asked. Regular Joe Schmoes like you and I are going to be able to own and operate a very large ship in which all of us will take on various roles. One of us will be able to be a gunner, one of us will be a pilot, or one of us could be a commander. I'm just going to be basically the personal sex object of the entire crew of the ship. So use me at will whenever you feel the urge.
Aaron, I've thought of your job title.
What's that?
The Hole.
Oh, like the whole package.
No,
thanks, man.
Like you're just a hole to us.
Aw.
That's all you are.
We should do like a top 5 reasons we're excited about, or top 10 reasons.
We'll call it top 5, and we'll give them 20. Or we could Molyneux them, and we could tell them it's going to be 50 reasons, and we give them 5.
There you go.
and say you've been Molyneux. Okay, let's talk about Star Citizen. So, why are they going to be moist about this game? What are you guys excited about?
Freedom.
Nah.
Freedom. The ultimate freedom to do whatever you
do
want.
whatever the fuck you want.
You can go explore desolated spaceships. You know, you're going to be able to go find old wrecks and
some Star Trek shit.
Star Trek shit. You're going to go to planets. You can explore the planets. You can, form a militia or an army or a pirate band or a mercenary group.
You can even set bounties on other players and carry them.
Exactly.
We should form an
evil
evil empire.
So you can do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what, I mean, you could do whatever you want. You can trade, you can mine.
So I guess that's a big part of it is it's a big, expansive universe where you can go anywhere, do whatever you want, and there's a lot to do. One of the things I'm excited about is full mod support right out of the box. And even Chris Roberts has even talked about paying some of the modders, talking about the possibility of actually giving those modders a monetary incentive to keep making those ships by getting, they'll actually be able to get paid. So get paid to make your mods. So
yeah, it's just gonna be really tough to do because the ships look so good right now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you'll have to know your shit to be able to make ships that are on par with the ships that are already seen in the game.
This isn't fucking Skyrim where you get to make an animated prostitution mod and then hit the top page of the modding sites.
Well, it might be. I mean, there might be.
You know what? That's true. You probably could do that.
You probably will be able to make an animated prostitution.
Calling all Skyrim modders, animated prostitution. Get on it.
There you go. We need animated prostitution for Star Citizen day 1. I want to see this.
And I'm not even gonna play until it's out.
But you'll be able to go to space stations, right? And you'll be able to go to asteroid fields and mine things, and then you'll be able to go to different merchants and sell them. And you'll be able to land planet side. I think there are 130 different planets you can land on now. Is that right, Phelps? Something like that.
It's a ridiculous number.
It's a ridiculous number, yeah. And that's just what they're shooting for on release, but they're going to be releasing new content pretty regularly. I mean, if we don't get Molyneux again, if we, take everything they say with a grain of salt, but this is what they're telling us at this point. So
the reason we shouldn't think we're getting Molyneux and have as much faith as we do in it is because the way they are developing it, it's very transparent. There's videos, they take you inside, and you see this stuff being worked on as it's being worked on. And that's something that, I mean, it happens. You'll get Twitter posts from developers or something like that, but they're not showing you. And this is where that comes in. And that's why I have as much faith in it as I do, is because it looks like it's being developed in a very transparent way. So if something goes wrong or we don't like something, we can say it, as you were saying earlier, and it's
right.
Awesome.
They're showing everything as it happens, and they're not afraid to admit when something's a little buggy. He doesn't come out and say, "Oh, everything's fine, but don't look at this monitor over here." They'll come out and say like, "Okay, well, the network's really buggy in the dogfighting module. We really need to spend a little more time on that." One of the biggest reasons I'm excited about it is that the people they've delegated certain tasks to, like they've got the guy who designed vehicles, planets, and architecture on Star Wars Episode 2, Episode 3, and even some of Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, like the tripods designs. They've got that guy doing designs for Star Citizen. They've got the guy who made the HUD elements for Iron Man, for the Iron Man films, doing
Jarvis.
The HUDs. Yeah, doing the HUDs for the Star Citizen ships. So that's really cool. And then who's the guy who did there's a guy who did the concept designs for Spider-Man, The Matrix Reloaded, Starship Troopers, Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain America, a bunch of different stuff. Pretty good track record, and he's working on concept designs for Star Citizen. So they've got some really good people from some really AAA Hollywood titles, big budget titles, coming over to do work exclusively for this game. So I think that's another thing that's got me, like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's, we're going to get Molyneux, it's going to be a letdown, we're going to be disappointed. But I think one of the things that keeps the faith up for me is seeing the people he's putting on these different parts, these different projects of the game. So
he's using the best talent around is the key factor. He's not a big game production company who's delegating these tasks to multiple different tasks to the same people and saying, good luck, do your best. He's saying, no, we're going to go get the best, and then we're going to push them to their limits.
There has been some concern that it's overhyped, right? And that maybe people are kind of just walking around with their head up Chris Roberts' ass. And I'll admit there's some concern for that.
I would gladly stick my head up his ass. I'd be honored.
But see, it's nice up there is the only thing we're saying, I mean, it's
Chris Roberts, nice ass.
See, the thing I think is that, it is a little ambitious and maybe even over ambitious. That's debatable. It could be argued that it's a little over ambitious, but I think that even if they get it half right, it's still going to be a good game, even if it's,
At the very least, we're getting Freelancer and a better game engine. At the very least, and that's fine with me.
Was amazing.
And Freelancer was like Star Citizen is what Freelancer should have been, but it doesn't even matter. If we just got Freelancer with an updated engine, I don't care.
But I mean, these ships, man, that's all. Actually, that should be one of the reasons. That should be really, because it's all about the ships, man. That should be one of the reasons to be excited about this game. Really, the ships are gorgeous. I mean, people play racing games for the cars. They talk about the car fidelity and all the polygons in the cars and how beautiful and how accurate, and they talk about the stitching and the fabric and everything and how you can see all the detail. Well, this is basically the same thing, but for ships. This is ship porn. They're beautiful. Some of the ships have upwards of 200,000 polygons. I would consider that probably one of the reasons to be excited about the game, actually, just because so much work is being put into the development of these ships.
Well, yeah, they're also trying to make it believable to a certain extent. Like, it is kind of like a simulator, or what we imagine space would be like if we were running around. Like, there's actual like thrusters that reposition the ship and stuff. It doesn't just magically change its position and have a giant rocket strapped to the back of it or something like that. You'll actually see like these little thrusters all around the ship moving around.
Right. So cool. And they're actually all individually rendered. So like if you get a thruster taken out in a dogfight, it will dynamically change the behavior and the controls of your ship in a realistic way, and not in any pre-scripted way. It's all happening on the fly.
Yeah, and I think the most fun you're gonna have on this game is gonna come from like pirating ships or something, because I saw a gameplay video of a huge battle that was going around like this massive cargo ship, and it was just like a ton of little ships, and you could see like all these beautiful planets and asteroids everywhere, and it was just chaos. And this was really old footage from when the game only had $14 million.
Yeah.
So by now it's probably like way improved, and it looked awesome. Like the fighting looked crazy. Like, it's gonna be badass going out just robbing people as they're trying to, like, trade shit, NPCs, real people, whatever. Like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna fucking take things from people.
Yeah, and there is talk about even being able to take other players captive on your ship, which they're still trying to work out how they're gonna
see, Aaron, that works out for you, because if we take them, we have a new hole. We give your hole a break.
So they're still trying to work out. They're still trying to work out how that will not be a bummer for the player that gets captured. I think they're going to give them an option to actually play it out or just bail in the situation. But you're going to be able to take other players captive and put them in holding cells on your ship. And they're not talking about it just yet, but there are going to be certain things you're going to be able to make these other captive players do. And that's another thing, when you do board these ships, whether it's an NPC vessel or a vessel operated by another player, he said it's going to be very tactical. It's not going to be some Call of Duty shit where you go in and guns blazing. He says if you do that, then plan on basically not.
Well, it's also built on the Crytek engine and not that shitty Infinity Ward engine. So bullets aren't these laser beams that instantly travel and connect to your target. Like the Crytek engine has, it's probably going to be somewhat similar to Crysis. And I've already ran around in the hangar modules, so I mean, like, I'm assuming weapons will work in a similar way where bullets actually travel to their destination, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah,
kind of like most games that aren't Call of Duty.
He said if you go in like thinking like it's a Call of Duty game and you go in trying to board a ship that way and you get clipped, you're pretty much done. You're not going to respawn right back on the ship and be able to try again to capture this vessel from these other players.
Well, the biggest problem with things like Call of Duty is
one shot.
I just hope that the guns are also semi-realistic, even if they are lasers, like, because that's the problem with games like Call of Duty.
If they can put half the time into the guns that they're putting into the ships, they're gonna be gorgeous. But I mean,
I just hope that the combat in first person and everything, like on foot, just doesn't feel like it's out of place. I hope it like feels really well polished also.
Oh, this reminds me of I just saw a video. I just saw a video recently, a newer one, where he was talking about how in certain first-person shooting combat situations, you will actually be in different planets' gravity, and it will actually affect the combat. So you'll be like floating around shooting each other. And he said in certain situations in the game, you'll actually be able to, like in an artificial gravity environment, you'll be able to actually, in some instances, turn off the gravity to fuck with the fight. So like if you're in a first-person combat situation with a crew and you figure out a way to turn off their ship's simulated gravity or whatever just to fuck with them, that will actually also be an option, it sounds like. So that's pretty incredible.
The attention to detail is utterly ridiculous.
Like the ship's systems are actually mapped to certain interior parts of the ship, and Chris Roberts has said that if you know your stuff and you really know your ships, it's possible that in a combat situation you'll be able to take out a ship with just a few shots if you get it and if you hit the right places. Of course, once the shields are down, because all of your ship's life support systems and everything is actually mapped into the internal parts of the ship.
He's also said that as your shield weakens, that there's going to be bleed through damage. Like even if you have your shield up, if your shield's like weakened or damaged a little bit, you actually will start to take hull damage. Not as badly as without the shield, but
and we were talking about how you'll be able to redirect your ship's power plant to different like you can redirect it to the shields or the weapons, but you can also, he said you can also concentrate all your ship's energy on one part of the shield. So like you can direct all of your power supply to your right side if you're getting flanked on that side, for instance.
I wonder how long you could like camp that way. Like if you were in one of those bigger ships, if you just dedicated all your power and stopped moving to like hold out until some reinforcements came. I can see it coming in handy in that kind of a situation.
Yeah. And the combat is going to be very intense because of these tactical situations, because you're going to actually have to concentrate on all of your ship's systems. You're going to have to concentrate on your shield and your weapons management and all that stuff. And you're going to have to be paying attention to a lot of shit. So and that's another thing. Actually, that kind of brings me into another point that I'm excited about this game for. I don't know what this number is going to be, but it's not going to be pay to win. It's going to be all based on player skill. That's another big one for me. So you won't be able to go in and buy the best ships and the best weapons with real world money. All the ships are available and all the upgrades are available with in-game money, and all there's no RPG elements. So basically it all comes down to your skill and your knowledge of the enemy and your knowledge of the other ships that they're using.
Yeah, and you were saying it the other day, if somebody goes through somebody just has the time and they're just memorizing how each ship is set up as far as where certain components are at, you're gonna have people that are gonna be dedicated, gone in 60 seconds. They're gonna go find, this person wants this specific ship. That person's gonna go take out its engine or something and pick it up and tow it back to that person and sell it.
You'll be able to hire other players to do just about anything, actually, and they'll all have a star rating system. So say I hire Josh the Rock Brock to be a gunner with me on a mission, and I'm like, I didn't really like his work. That guy was an asshole, you know what I'm saying? And I give him 1 star. Then other people are going to see that, and they're going to think about hiring him, but they're going to see, he's only 1 star, but he comes cheap, so they might hire him. And they can rate you, too. So if you hire someone on a job to come along with you on a job, another player, and they didn't like the way you directed them or how you handled the mission, they can rate you badly as well, so you can rate each other. So you can actually hire other players to do missions with you based on their star rating and try to look for good players. Of course, they'll be more expensive though, so that's another cool thing, is it's an incentive to do better, because if you get higher star ratings, you actually earn more money for joining people. So
here's what I want to talk about. I know that we're going to be able to go discover races and kidnap them or shit like that. What I want to know is if you can befriend one, because I want to be Han Solo with a Chewbacca, and I want to have an NPC alien.
Well, Chris Roberts is a big fan of Jar Jar Binks, and he has said that one of the first NPC characters you'll meet is Jar Jar Binks, and you'll be able to take him.
Jar Jar Binks himself.
You'll be able to take him into your pirate crew and do sexual things with, use him as a sexual object. Yeah, that's a good question.
That's kind of a two-parter question. Not only could you have alien NPC crewmates, but could you have NPC crewmates, period, in a PvP environment? Think about it. If this game is supposed to be functional as a single-player and multiplayer game, all these ships with multiple, gunner seats are going to have to be manned somehow in single-player, so I'm guessing you can.
You are going to be able, from what he said, you're going to be able to hire, if your friends aren't online, you'll be able to hire NPCs to take up those positions if you have, a big ship. But the NPC people you hire are probably going to be shitty. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, what if it's Grand Theft Auto 5, which I don't know how good that ever worked out because I haven't played it, but the crewmates, the shittier ones, the more often you take them on jobs, the higher their success rate and skills go up.
Yeah, that would be really cool. That's true. They did do that. If they did something similar to Grand Theft Auto 5.
And it would be really sad if you spent a year or two with this NPC doing badass missions together, and then he just fucking died.
And then they get capped, take one in the ass from Jar Jar, and
he was just gone.
There's already 3 alien races, so...
Yes, there are 3 alien races, and actually I was going to mention briefly that Chris Roberts said recently that there will be the possibility of playing as one of the alien races sometime down the line. Probably not on release, but at some point you will be able to play as one of the alien races.
I want to be a Birdman so bad.
Birdman. And I guess I haven't really mentioned this, Oculus Rift support, that's really cool. And I was always going to get an Oculus Rift, but now, knowing that it's coming with, it's this game supporting Oculus Rift, I'm probably going to buy one sooner than later. So, because I'm really stoked about looking around in my cockpit and feeling like I'm flying out in space. So, I don't know if it's all the detail going into these ships or if it's just the designs of them or what, but for some reason, these ships just feel so real to me, and it's not just a graphical thing, because the graphics are really good.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. They did a really good job on making everything believable.
Right, there's something about it that even just the hangar module, all you can do is run around a hangar and jump in your ship. That's literally it. And yet when I get in and out of that ship and mess around with it, I feel kind of like I've been in a ship. It feels so weighty and real, and I don't know how to explain it. If it's already like that, I can only imagine once you get a joystick in your hands and the Oculus Rift on, it's going to be you're in a whole other world.
We need to submit some questions to old Mr. Roberts.
Yeah?
See if they get answered. I feel like we've got the good questions that need to be answered. Like how's a regular Joe Schmo like me gonna handle all these polys?
Do the curtains match the drapes?
Exactly.
And it also should be mentioned that all of the game footage they've put out so far, at least as far as I'm aware, all of it is in-game, in-engine, real-time, with only, they're adding some bloom. And the reason why bloom and some effects, I think. But other than that...
And we know they're improving it because they said that the reason everything is getting delayed is because they plan on like drastically improving everything that we've seen so far.
Yeah, and just as a thing of detail, just for an example, insurance isn't it? It's not going to be expensive, but it's there.
Oh yeah, that's another thing we didn't talk about. I'm really glad you brought that up. Insurance. You'll be able to get insurance on your ships. Grand Theft Auto, for any of you guys that have played Grand Theft Auto 5, it'll be similar to that where you can get insurance on your ships so that
that was actually pretty cool. Like I liked that feature that they added in there. I wouldn't mind it if in Grand Theft Auto they had made it a little more realistic where like the more you blow up your car, the more expensive it got because your rates would go up. But maybe in Star Citizen we'll see something like that. Like if you're fucking bringing in a totaled ship like every 5 minutes, like your insurance is probably going to get fucking crazy or something.
Yeah.
And it'll probably make you play a much more safe, like less douchey kind of way.
I know another really cool thing that I forgot to mention is that basically how death works. We didn't talk about that. So yeah, like whenever you die though, you'll I guess you'll wake up in a hospital or something and you might have a new cybernetic leg or a cybernetic
arm. Dude, that'll be fucking awesome.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. So eventually, like, you might join my ship sometime, Josh, because I'm probably going to be a really shitty player at first, just so you know. So you might join my ship sometime and just see me with, like, I'll be a complete robot with maybe just a little bit of chest flesh left remaining and maybe some human chin left, and that's about it.
Yeah, you're going to be able to build your own space stations, which is amazing. There's going to be clan or guild hangars, which is awesome.
So should we actually be pirates? Because I was thinking about this. Everyone and their mother and their dog and their peepaw and their grandparents.
We're going to be the pirate kings.
Should we Should we play it more straight?
This is why we're going to be bad guys, Aaron. Think about this.
Jesus.
The reason we are going to be fucking pirates is because
everybody's gonna be like, I saw that John Depp in that Disney Pirates of the Caribbean, and
yes,
I want to be a pirate too.
Only if I can have dreads and a thin mustache and goatee.
We will be such terrible fucking fiends that we will spur heroes to rise up and try to stop us, but we'll fucking smite them down. We'll destroy them with our military might.
We'll
just run away. I mean, think about it. If we become enough of a problem, people are gonna be like, look, dude, the fucking butt pirates are really they just got us bent over a barrel.
See, this is why we really should have a ridiculous name, because if we actually do become a force to be reckoned with in this universe, in this persistent universe, you're gonna hear whispers of the butt pirates.
Oh, you'll fucking hear the name.
On distant star systems.
You'll hear the name of Julian Delphiki and
Graf.
I'll be Colonel Graf. I'll be Colonel Captain Pirate Graf. I'll have two military rank statuses, and
your name should just be like 5 military ranks and no name.
That don't even make sense. I'll be Special Commander General Captain Lieutenant
Captain Admiral General Captain Admiral General.
I think you should close your video out with each of us giving a strong supporting statement for Star Citizen. How about that?
Okay, for me, Star Citizen is going to be a game changer, bottom line, if they manage to pull it off. If they don't, and I do concede that might be a possibility, guys, and that there is a lot of hype around this game, and that we could all get Molyneuxed. Josh, you should say it with me. We don't want to get
Molyneuxed.
So, anyways... So, I mean, but if they pull it off, this is probably going to be a game changer and will likely be one of the best games I've ever played in my life, bottom line. All right, so what's your closing statement?
I think
Josh should go first. Josh, go first.
My closing statement is that I'm going to be a pirate. You can be a pirate with me. And I'm going to name my ship Peter Molyneux. I'm going to name my first ship Molyneux, so that when you get pirated by the butt pirates, you get Molyneuxed.
Yeah, man,
we're going to Molyneux all the people that piggybacked in at the end and hopped on the bandwagon, and they're going to be like, oh man, I shouldn't have told those guys they were going to get Molyneux. This game is awesome, but we're going to fucking Molyneux them. And we're going to turn it around. We're going to counter Molyneux.
Capture ship, we'd say, you've been Molyneux.
That's what we're going to tell them.
All right, so Phelps, closing statement from you, good sir.
All right, my closing statement, you want it from me? Let me break it down to a level that everybody can understand, okay?
Okay.
We're too goddamn late to explore the Earth with people like Christopher Columbus and Lewis and Clark. Too goddamn early to explore the stars unless you're lucky enough to be Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, or any other astronaut. So we're paying Chris Roberts to make it happen for us, okay? Get a little sneak peek, if you will, at what the stars are going to be like. You're going to be able to dress up as Captain Jack Sparrow behind your little computer screen.
Okay, all right.
I'm not going to be Captain Jack Sparrow.
A leader in a fleet.
All right, so we're done with this shit. End all these recordings.
Be a bounty
cut them
hunter,
out. Cut
a
it.
mercenary.
Okay.
Be John
now end on
Picard
Potato,
and explore
everybody.
He's
deep into
just gonna be doing this
space.
for a
And that's
while.
what it's all
Let's
about. The
stop.
ultimate
Let's just leave
freedom
him.
to explore the universe, if you will, at the ultimate level.
Everybody end on Potato.